The Mahoning County Board of Elections will hold an adjourned regular board meeting of the members of the board on Monday, November 3rd, 2025 at 6 p.m. in the boardroom of the Mahoning County Board of Election Office, 345 Oakville Avenue, Youngstown, Ohio, 44502. Set to adjourn on Tuesday, November 4th, 2025 after the close of the post collections, tabulations, and release of the unofficial election vote total results. Would the director call the roll, please?
Vice Chair Barger,
Here.
Chairman
Here.
Beatrice, Attorney Robinson,
Here.
Attorney Bayer.
Here.
Would the vice chairwoman please lead us in a pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
After the day I had, it's not gonna take much for me to have.
Okay.
Just remind me, let me shut up my thought. Of course, the call I've been waiting for, I'll probably have. Can we have a moment of silence for our nation, please? Thank you. The chair will now recognize a motion to approve the minutes of the October 7th, 2025 regular board meeting.
So moved.
There's a motion made by Vice Chairwoman Sandy Barger. Is there a second?
I'll second. I'm sorry.
Seconded by Lisa Robinson. Is there any comments, discussions, or concerns? Hearing none. Would the director call the roll, please?
Vice Chair Barger,
Yes.
Chairman Beatrice.
Yes.
Attorney Robinson,
Yes.
Attorney Bayer.
Yes.
We'll take a motion now to pay the bills of accounts that we were supplied for September and October of 2025.
So moved.
There's a motion made by Sandra Barger. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Denise Bayer. Is there any comments, questions, or concerns? Hearing none.
Yeah, I do have a question. E-notices, is that because we're doing so much on Instagram and Facebook that it's costing our advertising?
No,
No?
no, we don't pay for that.
Okay.
What's he noticed then?
Those are the, like the proclamations, the journal, you know, all those things, like we have to say when the voter's registration is, all of those things.
Okay. Any
I
other
had a
questions?
question
No.
too.
Go ahead.
No link,
Knowing?
no ink.
Mhm.
Oh, no, sorry.
That's okay.
I had just like adds letters to it. $5,459. Is that a moral obligation, legal and moral obligation, or did we get a bill?
No, we
talked
get a bill.
about that last night.
Yeah, those are those, non-confirmation letters that we have to send out each election, like if we send people a letter, hey, you haven't had any activity, that's what those are.
Okay.
Mhm.
Any other questions? Hearing none. Would the director call the roll, please?
Vice Chair Barger,
Yes.
Chairman Beatrice,
Yes.
Attorney Robinson,
Yes.
Attorney Bayer.
Yes.
Chairman's report. Any update on, it's November?
We have a meeting scheduled, you talking about the building? So we have a meeting
What else
scheduled
could I
on-
be talking about?
That third meeting is scheduled, I think it's the 18th, it's either the 18th or 19th.
Yeah.
Over at the commissioners, where we finalized all the compliance. The only thing we're waiting for on compliance is the alarming, and that's just a matter of getting it put in. So then we're supposed to talk about the building that day.
So, the alarming, do you know roughly how much that's gonna cost?
We got, the
We
first
had one
quote was
quote.
3,500, which isn't really anything.
Is it transferable?
The
It is.
components are, yes.
Okay. Any other big expenses on this building that we know of that are coming up, we know we're moving, that you're aware of?
Expenses? All I know is they are saying they already have something and they can't announce it, and we're gonna be real excited, and that it has a lot of square footage, that's all I've heard. But that's just innuendo, so I have nothing concrete.
I've only heard rumor that they have a building picked out. I just find it ironic if they had a building picked out that you and Tom weren't invited to look at the building to see if in fact it fulfills our requirements. I mean, I don't know what could be the big secret.
Well, I think it was the finalizing of details, not that I would know, and that it did have at least 22,000 square feet for us, and that it was flat and we would have a dock. That's all I know.
That's all I know.
And so we're going to a meeting on the 18th, but
Do we know
supposedly,
where it's at?
we may be hearing ahead of time, supposedly.
Do we know where the building is?
No.
I heard it was within the confines of the city of Youngstown. I did hear that.
If I had to guess, I would say it's in the confines of the city, but I'm only,
Do
we're
do
like
we know anything
speculating
about parking?
that we have parking, yes.
No.
That's what the rumor is, so I don't know.
Parking
There's
and
50
plenty of
spaces.
parking are
And
two different.
curbside and all that, and that we would be happy, but I do know that we were also told that we would be in on the design, and Tom and I would be integral in determining what we needed and what we wanted, we would get.
Do the chairman and vice chairman get their own offices with
Bathrooms.
bathrooms
I
and stuff?
heard that, and I also heard that Bandit could come, they were gonna make spaces for that.
All right. And are we all set for tomorrow?
We are.
We are,
Full complement of poll workers. Every location's been called to remind them, be open at 5:30. Early vote went well. We ended up with 8,600 voters.
But how's that compared to other
We
years?
had 9,000 in 2021, so a little behind. But we had a busy weekend. Friday and Sunday especially. We had a busy
Yes,
Friday and Sunday.
All right.
couple things, if you guys are going to visit polling locations, you wanna hear this?
Sure.
So we have the new no ink poll pads, and they have the printer attached. There is a difference when the poll worker signs off, and there's a little bit of a difference if it goes dead for a while, that they have to do a little different. They have the troublesheet, they have people they can call, so if you hear that when you go visit, we're aware of it, we know about it, and they know what to do. Oh, the other thing is we have a new role at our polling locations, we call it an e-poll book, provisional dual role, so that they could check someone in and determine if they need a provisional right then and there. We're hoping that that combination of knowledge eliminates that huge amount of provisionals we get. That's our two new exciting, soft rollout on MyPod?
Yeah.
What?
MyFi, we're gonna test out 2 locations, St. Christine's and Byzantine at the Grove. For,
So for our e-poll books, we will be able to know the foot traffic and the ballots used. We're not gonna roll that out into all the locations because we wanna test it first, and that's tethered to our new knowing e-poll books that you just purchased, and that's why.
You mean that's the 11 and 4 o'clock list, is that what you're talking about?
We still do that. This is more like we'd be able to look, Tom would have a dashboard where he can go on and look how many Republican ballots were used, how many Democratic during a primary, and know if we needed to send more out,
Mhm.
so.
it's real-time information coming from
Yeah.
our locations like we had in 2018.
Okay. Anything else from the director's report?
The meeting will be, WF from Jay will be at St. Christine from 5 to 7, and KBN will be at Byzantine up Grove from 5 to 7, so if anyone wants to stop by for interviews, because I won't be able to do both, or sometimes neither, so.
Okay. Anything else in the director's report? Hearing none, we'll move on to the next, which is unfinished business. Do we have anything in unfinished business?
No.
Still reminding Lisa and Denise about that
Dinner.
dinner.
I would be happy to buy dinner.
No, you know what? I'd actually be happy to buy you dinner. Okay? I'd actually be happier to buy you dinner. Did you hear what happened about the water and stuff? Remember?
The pictures of
I do vaguely remember that since I've drove in my car to get here and find out what was going on.
And almost a year before that,
Yeah,
I was down there saying, we're gonna be in a lot of trouble if those pipes break above those machines. I was like prescient about it.
so we're
And-
gonna get you a crystal ball for Christmas, is that what you're telling me?
Well, I'm hoping we can get a new building. I'm just hoping and praying. I mean, it's been something that I've been standing there and diligently working
I
on.
have phone calls, conversation, face to face. I think one of the commissioners, when he sees me coming to work, would go in the other direction. But,
Yeah.
and some realtors too.
Oh my God.
Had some meetings with them,
I'm
so-
so sick of people sending emails. hey, there's a building here, there's a building there. I go, that's great. I have no decision over that. All right. Now we have a thing marked executive session. And then someone gave me a sheet, it says, move to go into executive session pursuant to revised code 121.22G to discuss, what's highlighted, to consider compensation and benefits of public employees or officials. Now, if we are setting policy, I don't know if that would be considered compensation and benefits of public employees.
So we'd like to introduce our new attorney, Danny DeCenzo.
I know
who's now
double
gonna
D.
be- I know, but maybe for the record, that Danny DeCenzo is now assigned to the Board of Elections from the Mahoney County Prosecutor's Office, among other assignments he has. And I don't know if he's allowed to answer you, but that's our attorney.
We've been sued a number of times going into executive session. I'm very reluctant. If we're gonna go in and talk about a particular employee, I could see it. But if we're setting policy for the entire board's employees, I don't think that's something we should go into executive session. I'd like to know if my other,
I agree with you.
you agree with me? Denise?
I mean, executive session's pretty specific of what we
Yeah.
can go in for.
And there's this guy out there with Ames.
Yes,
He scours
right.
through all over the state of Ohio, every public meeting.
Is
And
there another issue?
So there is. so if you
There
go
is
to
another
the
issue
next
that is
one,
legit.
yeah.
Yeah, that one I
For
agree with.
appropriate for.
Yes.
Pending and.
The other
Court
issue is pending or imminent court action.
That doesn't involve Mr. Ames, does it?
Both do, yeah. There's two cases.
Yeah,
They both, Brian Ames is the plaintiff,
Oh,
it's okay.
and the board is the
It's really okay.
defendant.
So we are, and it's appellate court case number 2025 MA 73 and common police court number 2024 01673. So I know for sure if we're talking about legal court
It's
actions,
2025, the common police court one.
well, it says 2024 here.
All right, that was my mistake then.
Okay. So I will take a motion to go into executive session pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 121.22G to discuss pending or imminent court action. Is there a second?
I'll second.
There is a motion made and a second by Vice Chairwoman Sandra Barger. Is there any comments, questions, or concerns? So the record is clear. We are going into executive session to discuss pending or imminent court action where this board has been sued, and it is one of the times that we are allowed to go into executive session. Does anyone else have any comments or concerns? Hearing none, would the director call the roll?
Vice Chair Barger,
Yes.
Chair Petras.
Yes,
Attorney Robinson.
Yes.
Attorney Bear.
Yes.
we are now in executive session. We're out of executive session now. Let the record reflect, the only thing discussed in executive session was a pending lawsuit and a pending appellate case against this board.
We do make a motion to come out of the executive session. Now that we're out.
No, you just state that we're back on the record.
Yeah, we're back on the record. I want the record to reflect and the minutes to reflect that the only thing discussed in executive session was a pending appellate case and two pending appellate cases, right? No, just one pending appellate case and a pending common police court case. All right, under new business. So we have a number of things here. Who wants to take them? Approved timekeeping policies. Is there a regulation on that one?
that the payroll clerk policy, Melissa?
There's the payroll clerk, there's the comp.
Well, which one is approved timekeeping policy?
Well, I think she encompassed them together. They're all
So,
timekeeping, so payroll.
so
clerk is first.
compensatory and flex time policy and payroll clerk policy are all covered under approved timekeeping policies, correct?
Everyone does this too or not, that's not timekeeping policies.
That's separate, that's separate under there. And so, can I ask a question? Does this have to be done today? Is there an emergent that this be done today, or can we take this home and study it? I'm just asking.
Well, so the timekeeping one, this was just to make payroll easier because,
I mean, I could see the payroll clerk policy. I don't have any problem.
okay.
But the other one is the one where I would want to take home. This is where the people, during a certain period of time, if they call off sick, are gonna get the time and a half, right?
No, the one you're looking at there is the one that you asked us to write in terms of comp time for Tom and myself that would address the comp and the flex time issue that was raised in September.
Ah,
So that one is that one. The other one you just received today, and it's not in your packet. And that was about ensuring that if somebody worked like election week, 18 hours and then 10 hours and then got sick on Friday morning, that their sick hours wouldn't be the reason their overtime was converted to straight time.
right, but that's not in front of us today.
No.
Okay. So all we're doing is approving this payroll clerk policy and the compensatory and flex time policy.
Right, but we could get the other one if you wanted to look at it
No, we'll bring that up at the next meeting.
on the 18th.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my question on the payroll clerk policy, timesheet entry,
Uh-huh.
meaning what?
So remember when we had our.
Give me an example, I remember all of that, yes, thank you.
Yeah, so timesheet entry is,
When you put your time in this executive time, correct?
so, yes, but
Yes.
also timesheet entry is where we would go and edit and correct and adapt time cards, which we do have to do as payroll, no matter what.
Right.
Whether we're Annie, Tom, or myself. Now, because Tom and I have timesheet entry, and because Annie had timesheet entry for 3 years, it made it much easier. We showed the two different fields to you when we were in here before. The timesheet entry is just much easier to use than the other. And what's the title of the other one, Annie?
Employee time maintenance.
Employee time maintenance.
If I'm able to answer that for the board.
Sure.
So using time entry actually saves me a lot of time.
Mhm.
If I have to go, like, let's say somebody doesn't, or misses a clock out, I would have to do 6 extra steps if I go in the other way. So it actually is more efficient to use the time entry.
Okay, thank you.
So that's what that's about.
Okay. So I'll accept the motion to accept these two.
Well, I want to vote on this one separately, the payroll clerk policy, not the two.
You want to vote on these two individually,
Yes,
but they're being presented together.
okay.
I mean, that's what I was told under item, new business under item A, these are both together, right?
Well, they're under the same heading, but if you want to discuss them both, you might want to
Do
discuss
you want
them.
to discuss them?
Well, yeah, because Mahoning County is looking at the time and attendance across the county.
Right.
And they are working to rewrite, prepare a new HR policy, which will take some time to do. And instead of us stating our own policies, I'd like to see what their policies are and use theirs because we are Mahoning County employees.
But we are also an independent board.
Yes, we are.
And we're specifically made an independent board under the law. So we could adopt Mahoning County's policies or not. It's entirely up to us, but this, both of these are in keeping with what we had discussed at last board meeting.
But I also know that executive time can track this comp time as well. I've been told that.
Well, you've certainly been told a lot of things that were maybe not accurate, and so I would love to see that, and we'd be glad to use it.
Okay, we will set up a
And the
time.
policy's actually written so that if in the event that the software can do it, then we can move right to it, because that's why it's written in the policy that way. Mhm.
Was the comp time before at a time and a half?
I'm sorry, what are you
Was
asking?
your comp time before
No,
a time
it's
and a half?
always-
Straight
No,
time?
straight time.
So you're
For Tom
converting
and
it to
Melissa.
time and a half?
No.
That's
No.
not
It's-
policy.
It's comp time is earned, so you get an hour and a half for every hour worked as comp time, but when you cash it out, it's hour for hour, if I'm correct. What is it?
No, I thought you
No.
and Tom don't get time and a half.
On comp time, it would be straight, actual payout would be regular wages. Do you want to go in
Do you
and?
want the answer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, a traditional comp time policy is, comp time is a term and a process made up to replace overtime or to give an alternative to overtime. So, a traditional comp time policy, for every hour worked over 40 within a 7-day work period, that would qualify for overtime can be taken as comp time. And that comp time is accrued in a bank and can be used usually within a certain period of time. And it is either used at an hour and a half, if taken as time off, or it's paid out, cashed out at time and a half, the overtime rate. Now, the state of Ohio has a policy that provides its exempt employees, it's employees that are exempt from the overtime law, to do an hour for hour even exchange of comp time earned to comp time used. State of Ohio's doesn't include a cash out, but it can include it. This board can include it just because you're the appointing authority and you have statutory authority to set compensation and benefits for your employees.
So if I understand what you're saying is, every employee here gets comp time, it's time and a half. Tom and Melissa get just straight time.
I'm just saying that if the state of Ohio's policy for exempt employees accrual of comp time, then yeah, that's what it would be.
But their accrual of sick, vacation, what's the other one, personal time, is based on your straight hours, correct?
Oh, you want to talk about accruals? Because we have that information here for you.
But I'm
Accruals
saying
is based
that-
on your hours that you earn, your 80 hours?
Yes.
Is that what you're talking
Yes.
about? You don't accrue on overtime?
No.
Like you don't accrue vacation or sick or personal on overtime at all? And then your accruals on
It's
your
just
80
straight comp
hours,
time.
your,
Right, it should be straight comp time.
right, your accrual hours are based on your years of service and your 80 hours, right?
Correct.
Like, I forget what our vacation is, depending on when you first come in. I think it's 3.6%.
Been that long, you don't remember, right?
But we do not accrue currently or in the future on additional hours, like we would not. We would not accrue vacation time on comp time, we would not accrue on vacation time, nor does our staff. That's already,
When I worked in corporate America, that was a privilege to be the director, the deputy director, the CFO. It's part of the job that you accepted.
I don't know. We do,
Well, because comp time should be straight time. I don't agree that it should be time and a half.
It isn't for them.
But that's what this is trying to do here, isn't it?
No.
Am I
Well,
not reading
it
this
does say
correctly?
time and a half hours earned, because we copied what the staff gets, which is what's in the Mahoning County Personnel Manual. We didn't create it, we just went and looked at all the different options, and we mirrored what the county policy said, and it's an hour and a half that you earn, right?
In the county policy.
Yeah, Annie, isn't it an hour and a half? Because
Time
we
and a half.
convert it,
It's not enough.
you earn it, but you can't cash it out that way. You would cash it out hour for hour. So let's say we work an hour of comp, we earn an hour and a half. We actually don't care, right? Would you agree with that, Tom? We just wrote the policy and mirrored it as close to the county policy as we could, because that's what our staff gets, that's how the coding goes in executive time. You don't have to do that. You don't have to cash out. You don't have to do it an hour and a half earned for every comp.
Well, I
hour.
think what Danny is saying is, under Ohio law, if you're considered supervisory, it's straight hour for hour.
No. That's part of it, not under Ohio law. Under Ohio law, this board can do as it sees fit, based on the unique work that the board here does and that its employees do. The cadence of the work can dictate the policies that you put in place for your staff. Non-exempt, meaning rank and file staff members, and the exempt employees, meaning your management employees. It's not the law that does that. The state of Ohio does it, because under the law, you don't have to give supervisory. You don't have to provide you don't have to provide exempt employees with any overtime or any comp time or anything like that. The state of Ohio does it for several reasons, and it's a straight hour-for-hour exchange. And they do it because it attracts employees, talented employees to come here. It keeps them engaged. It provides a benefit. It adds to the productivity, and again, these are it's a way to reward supervisors and managers, administrators, that don't get overtime pay, but they work their tails off, especially at certain times. So for instance, you have certain times here, elections, that, require long hours and going above and beyond, and allowing employees that are otherwise exempt from those overtime provisions and those mandatory provisions. It's a way to reward them for that, and it's an even exchange, and it's an even exchange of time. There's no cash out.
How are you and Tom?
And that's by policy.
How is it done currently for you and Tom?
For years, last week I worked 62 hours last week. I have 22 hours over 40. I'd always bank that, and that 22 hours come December, I could take basically 3 days off, flex time. And so I could take December.
So it's an hour for hour.
It was always an hour for hour in the county policy. For years, it was called, the county policy called it flex time.
Right,
Now the county policy is saying what?
If I'm understanding it now, it's that 40 hours, you could flex hours within a 40-hour work week, which I think was the problem that ended up getting us here, that historically this board, and it wasn't memorialized, the previous board member said, clearly you work 40 hours when you take the whole year and divide it by your number of hours worked, because we weren't getting overtime or comp, and I don't mean we, because I wasn't here, that it was over the 12-month period, clearly you did full-time work because of all the hours you put in during all the elections. And really, for the last 3 years, we weren't even really flexing because we had 3 elections back to back to back. So it wasn't until this summer that we had a little bit of flexibility, our staff and ourselves included, which caused this whole conversation, I believe. Tom and I were perfectly fine.
Right, so my question is, I would be comfortable, and if you guys are gonna be insulted, let me know. I would be comfortable doing hour for hour for both you and Tom.
That's what it's been for years.
yeah.
But you mean comp or flex, which are you speaking about? I'm not gonna be offended at anything, I just want to take notes to get.
No.
Well, you're
When
not.
you are working more than 40 hours a week, if you work 42 hours a week, you have 2 hours that you can call it flex or comp time. You have 2 extra hours.
Right,
I think we're in semantics here with the word flex or comp.
I don't think so.
Some people call
No,
it
'cause
flex.
there's statute on it.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go.
No.
If I'm asked a question, I'll answer. If not.
Go ahead, Dan.
Well, it's, again, you can call it comp time because comp time is okay you can define it as that and call it that because it's something you're providing in lieu of overtime.
Yes.
Whether it's overtime earned as comp time that you can use at an hour-and-a-half exchange, or you can cash out at an hour-and-a-half, or I'm sorry, 1.5 times the hourly rate. So flex time, comp time, it's how it's used, how it's exchanged that really kind of, is really all that matters. And that is something that any policy would just need to be
All right, so,
clear.
but we've traditionally been doing it hour for hour, right?
And you called that comp time, correct?
For years, I called it flex time.
Okay, well,
It
we'll call
was
it flex
hour to
time.
hour.
Yeah,
What are you
There's a
shaking
legal
your head about?
definition that it's not called flex time.
Well, I'm just shaking my head. I just want to say this. Did you have something?
No, I looked this up today, I was very confused. The differences, so I found this chart. Maybe this will clear it up. Is that it? Okay, there you go.
What Danny's saying is, we don't have to give them that.
Here's this
But
is
we
the state
give them
policy.
that as an incentive because of the work they're doing, so we can keep and retain good employees.
Correct, because they don't get overtime.
Right, because they
That's
don't
the
get
purpose
overtime.
of comp time.
Right, and every department head in this county from Green Team gets that flexibility.
I would like to just say a little something.
Go ahead.
Tom and I have never asked for anything because we were perfectly content and we were happy to do our jobs and we love our jobs. And we didn't mind our crazy hours because we thought it was a full expectation of us. To your point, Sandy, we're very proud of our role here. We're very proud to be the director and the deputy. And we actually have never asked for any of this, and this did not come about because we raised it. Of course, we're having the conversation, but please don't be misunderstanding that we asked for this. This came about, and we all know the reason this dialogue came about, and it wasn't at the behest of Tom or myself. We were perfectly content.
It's not my question. My question,
Yeah, but I would like to say that because I feel that that needs to be.
I don't think that's what anyone's saying. My question is, are you and Tom, since it's been historically an hour for hour, are you comfortable it being an hour for hour?
I personally believe that you as the board should write the policy you want and give it to us, because this is the policy you asked for, we wrote it, and now I think you should determine, no, we're not gonna be offended. We were already happy with what we had. I'm sorry if I'm speaking for you.
I was happy with the status quo of how things were going up until
We were
this issue
thankful.
was raised.
This says, upon termination of employment, the employee will be paid for any unused compensatory time at the regular rate of pay, not time and a half.
Right.
Correct.
So if you cash it out at the end of the year,
Yeah.
during the year that you worked it, that you earned it, it's at time and a half. But if you quit, no,
It's a
No, it's
regular
always
hour for hour.
hour
that.
for hour. But that's not what this said.
Right.
The beginning part says you earn it for an hour.
It says what you think it says. It says that if you retire and leave your employment, you get an hour for hour exchange of comp. Most comp time policies have a cap, it's how much you can accrue during any year, and they require you to use that comp time within a given period of time. So, 240 hours a year is usually what it's capped at, particularly in the public sector.
I did look into that, 240 hours. And I would like to make it 280 hours because they could actually work. If we had 3 elections like we did last summer, they could easily accrue another 40 hours of comp time. So 240, that'd be 1 more extra week.
240 comes out to, as traditional comp time, at an hour, at time and a half,
Not-
comes out to 160 at regular hours, which equates to about 9 hours of pay period.
Now, 240 hours divided by 8 is what? 40, right?
Yeah. 240 hours, did you say 280 hours or
No,
200?
240 hours divided by an 8-hour workday would be how many days? 30 days, right?
Incidentally, that was the reason that the
Wait a minute,
time.
hold on, I'd like an answer to my question. 240 hours divided by 8 hours
30 days.
is 30 days. And my suggestion is that we take it 1 more week, that it be 280 hours which would be, one more week for you guys.
Correct, in a presidential, that's very easy to attain,
That's what I'm
especially
saying.
for elections.
Now, go ahead.
Let me say what I was gonna tell you. It made me remember the reason the comp time is always an issue and why, because it is, and it is written in statute that you have to use it up that year. You can't let it roll from year to year, right? At least that's how I read it. So you and Joyce were never able to use all the time you saved up, and that's where it became we have flexibility and we all have this understanding, because you couldn't use that time within the time frame, right?
How it used to work, and I think it's probably the board adopted this, you could, if I accumulate 2 weeks of comp time, 80 hours in November, I could use that 80 hours up until the next election in May. And then what I accumulated there, I'd have to use by December. It was election to election, I had to use that accumulated comp time hour to hour. Where we ran into issues the last 3 years, the March to June, then going into November, we just weren't using it. All, right. This election, an off-year election like this, we're not gonna accumulate a lot, because we don't have the extended hours, we don't have all the weekends.
Unless we're moving. I mean,
Unless we're moving.
right?
I'll be lucky to give 80 to 100 hours this election.
Is it part of Attorney DeSanto's role? Would you rewrite this?
If I'm asked, yes.
Because he did review that
Okay.
also.
But there's no
Cap?
cap here.
These are the questions that I have.
No cap
That would be
and
for
no,
discussion.
no.
No cap, no
Yeah.
cash out, no, and these are things that, I mean, if you can have pretty much almost whatever policy you want, but it just has to be clear. The policy just has to spell it out.
Right.
So it could be an hour-for-hour exchange, it could be a cash out of anything over, $240 twice a year. I mean, I've done union contracts that have all these different things in them. There's all kinds of components. And when it comes to exempt employees, your management employees, they're not subject to you're not subject to follow the overtime laws. So you can be as creative as you'd like to be, whatever fits your needs. So
I would like to make this 280 hours. Because that's 40 hours more, it's one more week of overtime. That they have to use it within a year of it being accumulated.
And by use it, you mean take off using those hours.
We couldn't pay you, you couldn't cash it in.
Well, that's what I'm asking you, because you're the one that can decide that. That's what you
I
guys
think
have
we
to
either
decide.
let you cash it in within the year or use it within the year.
Is it a calendar year?
Do you
Because that's
cash
what
in
that
what time
says.
before?
It says by December, if you
No,
didn't use it or cash
Right.
it in, you,
Right.
right here, it's
It
automatically.
says last
paid
full
out.
pay in December of
Did your
each
own
year.
thing.
So Danny had wanted to discuss it with you guys for those
Flex
reasons,
time
because we went back
back in
and
the day
forth
was
on
30
it.
days you had to use it, and the board's enough 6 months basically.
Okay.
I'm saying within a year,
Yeah.
Which is,
no carryover.
that's,
no carryover.
But that it would cash out, is what he's saying, David is saying.
Because,
If you say you want to cash at the end of the year, that
flex time
means
is
you
sort of
can't.
like that.
see,
use it
see,
or
the
lose it
problem
rule.
for us, Danny, is,
And flex is a use it or lose it rule.
I understand that. But summer before last, we had 3
Correct.
elections.
Mhm.
They banked so many hours, they never got to use their time.
Sure, I understand.
I mean, these were full elections.
Right.
But I use, in the presidential, 3 elections of presidential, burn most of the flex time, but you don't take your vacation time. That's why we adopted that policy, to cash out vacation.
Correct.
Because then you lose
Burn it,
that.
Then you lose the vacation.
Which you don't, no, you cash it out.
You can cash out.
So it
now.
sort of bumps everything that way.
I mean, as far as budgetary concerns, what it can do with regard to 2 employees, I mean, if you have an idea of, if you cap it, then you know pretty much, and you pay it out just straight time, then you pretty much know what that's gonna add to your personnel budget. Which, you know, I don't know what your hourly rate is, Tom, I don't know what your hourly rate is, Melissa, but, I mean, if you were just saying $35 an hour, for a management employee, right? That's like 10 grand a year at 240 hours.
Well, my
For
position
each,
is,
so I mean, it gives you.
these two
you can-
people run one of the most important agencies in this county. That's my position. Voting is that important to me, and it should be that important to every citizen of Mahoney County. And we should pay people who run our elections to make sure they're fair and fraud-free, a very good wage, because that should reflect the importance of the job.
But, you know, along these lines, but change the subject a little, our software doesn't track our comp time. It's not capable of tracking my 60 hours last week. I have to enter 40 hours in. There's no way to put, we have to manually track those comp hours. So when another department head comes and says, well, they're abusing time, well, only because he's looking at the software program where I can't track those 60 hours last week. I have to put 40 hours in, so I worked 7:30 to 7:30 all last week, except for one day, I think I left
And
at
we
5.
manually tracked it
But I
since our
have to,
last meeting.
I have to
We
put
manually-
in 8 to 4:30 every day, although it's 7:30 to 7:30. So at some point, we'll manually track these hours, and this board or other individuals have to understand that's how, until they fix the software program,
Well, I
I
think
think
it's
that's how we
possible
have
to
to do
do in the software.
Well,
We looked it up.
that's why the
We looked it up.
policy is written that way, and we had talked about that software, and if that software indeed, then we have the licensing, they have to ask for the functionality. They have to ask for that functionality. So once they ask for that functionality, whether they have to pay more, that's a counting issue. But in the meantime, it's written that we manually track it and we enter it, the 8 hours, because we also didn't want to be accused of altering pay cards. If you're entering 8 and you work 12, technically, if that's not written somewhere, that could be altering, right?
It would be my preference that you update the software so that you use
How
the
can they
software.
update the software,
Well,
it's the county
it's-
software?
Yeah, we don't
Ralph
have a
Meacham
choice.
can do it.
We don't have that choice. That's.
They don't have the ability to do that.
I found an article that said there's a way to track
Executive
Comp
time,
time.
comp time.
on executive time.
We've never shown that. We had a payroll meeting that lasted 20 minutes.
That was not a
20 minutes.
training.
We got there at 2, we left at 2:20.
We did, 2:23, we got up and left, and we were leaving with everyone, we didn't leave early.
Got it
And the
right.
people next to us were entering vacation, the people were handing them on paper. Like, my vacation request given to you on paper, and that manager was entering everybody's time. And the person to the right of Tom was being the employee, the approver, they were being everybody, and they were told they could do that because their office is small.
That's the way we did it in the court. I mean, we put our, anything like that, vacation, sick, we would do that. And then the court administrator would put everything in.
So
We do
across the
that
county,
that
it's
way in
being
the
done
prosecutor's
in an
office.
inconsistent manner.
Until Ralph
And
gets
they-
the computer.
Right, we're very consistent. We use the system to the maximum capacity because we actually like executive time because as much paperless as you could be is awesome. To your point, we would much rather have things be manual,
If you could
Why
show,
don't we have a
you saw
meeting
the
with him and
article.
ask him?
Yeah, if you saw the article, we can set up my computer, we can go through the article and show me how to do it.
Yeah, we'll ask him.
the capacity has to be added in there. If it was added in there, everybody in the county would be using it, I promise you, because this conversation is not just happening here.
I know
As far
that.
as tracking, right? So to add that functionality in the drop-down box is a permission you get from that software company, and you have to pay for it, or you call them if they add it. For example, Triad, we created that new poll book rule. I had to go and put in a new code so that we could send out proper letters in our software. I called my guy from Triad and we did it over the phone. But we don't have control over that.
It's not our software.
Oh, I understand that.
All right, so let's have Danny, let's have a motion, have Danny rewrite this to make it 280 hours. Is everyone, is anyone not in agreement with that?
35 days. Comes out to 35 days.
Yeah.
280 hours, 35 days.
that, they could easily do that in a presidential year. I mean, you've not experienced a presidential election. It is, excuse my mouth,
Fun.
it is a
Exciting.
shit plus a storm together.
It's fun and exciting.
I mean,
Annual accrual capped at 280 hours. Okay.
all right, so why don't we take a motion?
Well,
We have Danny DeCenzo.
What- Do you have other, you want other clarification as to what we
Yeah.
we want?
If I could, so can I ask, does it have to be used within a certain period of time?
1 year from when they accrue it.
Got it. Okay?
Because
Yeah.
presidential election is in November. They could work,
Till February.
yeah, I mean, if they had to cash in December, they couldn't.
Okay, I understand.
You see what I'm saying? That's why I want to give them a year
It makes
from
perfect
the
sense.
time they accrue it.
And then, is there a carryover or a cash out at the end of, so for instance, anything that is earned over 280 hours, oftentimes you'll see has to be cashed out, has to be either used.
No, it's 280 hours. We think that's plenty. I don't think they're gonna be working 35 extra days
Okay,
in any given year period.
so,
That's a month and 5 days of extra time. I think that's plenty, unless I'm not looking at this correctly. And if we have to make some adjustments when we're moving, we'll make some adjustments.
I mean, frankly, if it was above that, it's already a benefit to us that we weren't not getting. I mean, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay?
yeah, so is there a,
Cap at 280.
okay, and if it goes over 280, what are you doing? I mean, are we cashing out anything
No,
over
that's,
280?
280 is the max they can get.
And it's gonna be an even exchange of use as time off, hour for hour?
Yeah, that's, yes,
And
Can I ask a
And no-
question of the board?
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Are you going to limit, like, the week before the election, the week after the election, we don't use any flex time during those periods of time?
No one's
We don't
allowed.
even- I mean, we don't.
No one's
is that
allowed to
already-
take vacation time, no
Right.
one's allowed to take.
That's already part of it.
Right, so, and we use flex differently, like on a slower election, you could flex your 40 hours if we're not busy. But like, we mandate no vacation time and no personal time, they can only use sick time, and that we're here. So, like, for example, it used to be, if we're all here 7:30 to 7:30, because early vote is open, the whole office stayed, because we're processing applications. This was a little slower, we didn't make everybody stay, so if that makes sense to you, but yeah, we manage that.
Okay.
Did that answer your question?
Yes, but is that part of the policy? I mean, do you want to make it part of the policy?
Yeah.
We have to?
I'll put it,
Okay.
Or
sure.
are you saying that earning comp during election wouldn't
No,
count?
I'm not saying
Oh.
that. I'm saying you don't utilize your flex time. You don't take flex hours.
Oh, you don't take off?
During those
Oh, yeah.
periods of time.
It's already a
Yeah,
policy.
It's already a
Yeah,
policy.
It's kind of
Okay.
an understanding,
Yeah.
like, no
But for-
one's
Yeah.
going
Yeah,
anywhere.
no one during election
I got you,
time
I got
Well,
you.
no.
takes flex or.
Well, I didn't know if that was informal, formal.
Oh, no, we've-
No, it's formalized.
And it's actually 30 days before, 30 days during, and 30 days after.
Oh, it's 90 days.
And we loosen it up, like when we had those couple specials and they were slower, I was like, all right, we're gonna loosen it up on this date. And Tom and I usually do that per election, depending on the size of the election. It's not formal for that reason, because if the election's slow, you can loosen it up a little bit. And I mean for the staff and him and myself, I don't mean just him and
Yeah,
I.
but no one during
Yeah.
So,
the ramp up to the election and the
No,
ramp
no, I
down.
can't even imagine that.
Right.
I mean, you could keep it at, you could make it a week if you want. I mean, week before, week after, 30 days before, whatever you want. I mean, it's up to you, based on
Well, I would definitely
the
say,
nature of your work.
what the nature of the work is, once the election's over, our work doesn't stop. We have to
Right.
canvass.
Sure.
But that
Yeah,
can't,
recount, audit, and official certification, and nobody's allowed off until we finish those two.
okay, so I would think from the time early vote to the official certification, that's a no-go zone for anyone.
Yeah, it's actually 30 days before early though, because we get applications that long.
Yeah.
And we do that every election, we sit down, we have a meeting and say, this is our dates, guys, depending on the size of the election. And then as soon as we can loosen it up, we do, correct, Tom?
Yeah, but we're more lenient in that 30 days prior in September this year. We're lenient there.
Mhm.
Come October, November, we're not. So the rule has always been 60 days and 60 days, 4 months out of the year. And
That's why I
then-
want to give them a year to use it,
Yeah, no,
because that's,
understood.
the nature of this work is, especially November and whenever our primary is, whether it's March or May, or whenever they decide to hold the thing, it's real slow, and then we ramp up, Danny, to 800 employees.
Yeah,
I mean, they gotta ramp up to 800 employees and then ramp them down.
yeah.
And then they gotta find, they gotta get the poll places. I mean, there's a lot to go. If people only knew how much went into elections, they would be completely flabbergasted.
Yeah. So is it 60 days prior, 60 days after, or is it 30 days prior?
It's really that 60-day window we look at. Early vote starts,
So
and then
60,
it's 60 days and 60 days.
okay.
I'm sorry, I'm missing, I don't know what that means to
30
this
before,
policy.
30 before and 30 after.
What does that mean to that policy?
Meaning you cannot use vacation, flex time, or anything.
Oh, Tom and I?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, okay.
Okay?
Oh, yeah, we never do.
I know, but we're just gonna make it into that
Yeah,
policy.
the exception is sometimes the staff will have a wedding or funerals, weddings, and we allow
Well,
that.
how dare
of course.
someone die?
Right.
But they're writing, Tom, they're writing that into our policy, that's what they're talking about for that comp, for,
Oh, yeah.
not for the,
Yeah, okay?
Okay, gotcha.
So can we have a motion on that?
I'm
Sandy,
sorry.
do you move to have
We
Danny?
still have some more information.
Go ahead.
Is there a cash out
No.
of accrued time?
No, because what they're gonna do is, they'll use it in place of their vacation, and they can cash out their
Right.
vacation time.
So if they don't use it, so if they have a bank, they've accrued 240 hours, it just rolls into the next year and. when
Don't
they
forget,
get-
we're
when they
we're
no
allowing
more
them a
than-
year
Yeah,
from the time they accrue the comp time to use it.
no cash out, all right, got it. Okay. Sorry, that's the last question.
I mean,
That seems fair.
it's all gravy to us, we just
Yeah.
wanted Georgia.
It sounds like it's a formalization
Yeah.
of what's already been occurring.
All right, does someone wanna make a motion on that?
So moved.
All right, Sandy moves that Mr. DeCenzo is gonna fix this compensation
Flex time.
and flex time policy to reflect the discussion we just had and present it to the next and present it to us at the next meeting. I will second that motion. Is there any comments, questions, or concerns above the half-hour discussion we just had? Hearing none, have the director call the roll.
Vice Chair Barger,
Yes.
Chairman Petras.
Yes.
Attorney Robinson.
Yes.
Attorney Baird.
Yes.
All right, now, payroll clerk policy. This is,
Did we already do that one?
no, we didn't.
Oh,
Sandy wanted us to do these separately.
okay, gotcha.
This directly reflects what we had discussed last board meeting. And this saves her a ton of time, right, Annie?
It does,
So,
especially in a big election where we have a lot of staff, it'll make it more timely if I don't have that function.
right. Because I can't think of any other agency in Mahoney County where they go from 15 employees to 800 twice a year. And we have to have some flexibility for her. So,
She was doing this before, correct?
She was.
Okay.
we're just making a
Make the
policy now. So Denise, do you want to offer this as a motion?
Sure, so moved.
Denise Bayer moves that we make the payroll clerk policy. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Lisa Robinson. Is there any comments, questions, or concerns? Hearing none, would the director call the roll?
Vice Chair Barger.
Yes.
Chairman Petras.
Yes.
Attorney Robinson.
Yes.
Attorney Baird.
Yes.
Okay, now, moving to approved health insurance increase proposal. Effective January 1st, 2026, the following board members approve that all full-time staff of the Mahoning County Board of Elections receive a 1.43% increase on the current base rate to offset the health insurance premium increase. It's really just not even a raise. It's just keeping them where they're at.
Yes.
Well, isn't, when we give the cost of living increases, isn't the health insurance premium and the cost of health care included in that cost of living?
No, and I'll tell you why. We do the COLA, cost of living this year. The last few years we did it, and we were actually under what most of the contracts were, because the contracts anticipate the health insurance raising. What we did as a board in 2022, you offset the cost and gave us the COLA, and the COLA is automatic and it's based on Social Security. So sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 2. It doesn't account for the health insurance, it counts for cost of living. So when you did it in 2022, which was great, it was the first time it had ever been done, for particularly the line staff who've never had that happen to them. It covered just the cost of what actually is going to increase in their pay. So essentially then your COLA is an actual raise, right? You cover the cost of the health insurance when they get their COLA, it's an actual raise. That's our take on it.
Well, I should explain it.
Me too.
And listen, a lot of the union contracts downtown, including an office holder.
I have it right here.
Right.
You want, if you want to
Some,
see it.
and also, some people over in Castine gave us that 4.25 over the last 3 years. So,
Do you want to see it?
No, I believe you.
I believe you.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to, effective January 1st, 2026, that full-time board members receive a 1.43% increase on their current base rate to offset the health insurance premium increase. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Attorney Denise Bayer. Is there any comments, questions, or concerns?
I have a comment.
Go ahead.
It's bad optics to do this before we get our budget. There, I mean, we have no,
So this is-
they could cut our budget. The commissioners could very easily cut our budget. Why don't we wait to see what they do with all the employees across the board, whether or not they're gonna give this to everyone?
Well, they're not going to give this to everyone, and I can tell you why, because they negotiate contracts for everybody else, and it's in their contract. The reason we did it now is this is when we found out about it. We just got, because this is open enrollment, so we just got the increase, and we do have our budget. So
We don't have our, they didn't set the budget for next year.
we just turned our budget in, and we actually told them we may have an increase, so they know about that. Then we go to our budget hearings, because they know we have our COLA increase. So you couldn't come up with these numbers until you got the health insurance increase, which we got, what, a week ago, Annie, 2 weeks ago? So as soon as we got it, we brought it to you. You're an independent board. When we did it in 2022, actually, the commissioners, it just wasn't even an issue because they have it in all their contracts. Do you know what I mean? Like, all those contracts are negotiated. We come to you to tell you when it happens, and then you determine whether or not you want to
Yeah,
do
the
it.
unions, they already negotiate these increases in their union negotiations.
Right. And so this is effective January, because that's when the health insurance changes, and so you're finding out about it as early as we knew, which is now.
Not all county employees are union employees, correct?
Almost all of them. I mean, I don't know the exact percentage.
that
Do you
true?
know the exact
Which
percentage?
department would it be?
It depends on the department, like prosecutors are not, judges' staffs are not, but like clerk's office, they are.
22
Auditor,
unions.
The
What?
engineers.
22 unions throughout the county, departments,
22.
Well, 22 departments, right?
unions. I believe unions. My
Is that unions by type of union, or, because I know upstairs alone they have 5. In JFS, CSEA, UAW, they have their supervisory union. Within the sheriff's department, they have like 4 union contracts, right? So they have the civilians, they have the blue, the gold. So there's how many
When the
contracts?
county increases my job duties to include
Sorry,
handling the union contracts.
sorry.
I'll know specifics. I'm waiting, but we'll see, they haven't done that yet. But right now, percentage-wise, I mean, if there's 2,000 employees, I mean,
But Danny, you ran the
1,600
clerk of court
employees that are, you know,
at one time.
Right.
You could tell us that they negotiate this increase in there.
They can, it's a mandatory subject to bargaining under the law, so they would have to bargain for it, they would have to, go through the whole process and present it as a, you know, an open item, and the employer, whoever it might be, you know, that department, and ultimately the commissioners in a lot of instances, would have to approve whatever is negotiated, or not approve it. I mean, is it a guarantee? No, it's not. It has to be negotiated and bargained for.
I'm asking you, do most of them negotiate?
Most, yes.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, most.
So they don't have to go through it every year. That's part of their union contract.
So
That's
what
the
you're saying
benefit.
is that they're expecting this from us? Yes?
I'm saying that the people that work here, if
I'm
they're,
not being a Scrooge.
I'm not
just
saying you are
asking
being a
question.
screw. I'm glad you're asking questions. I'm answering the questions. If there was a time when employees didn't even pay into their health insurance, then we started making employees pay into their health insurance, okay? Well, if the health insurance goes up and they gotta pay more, they're actually getting a cut in
I
pay.
understand that.
And so all we're doing is keeping them flush with what they're getting
And
paid.
you're talking about 15 people that make 50,000 and under. You're not talking about people who are making huge money. And so that little bit of money is huge to them. So let's put that in perspective with the rest of the county, since you brought it up, right? Like upstairs, they have 300 and some employees, sheriffs, more than that, they're the largest employer, right? All those negotiations are being made for, you know, the FOP, that's a strong union. And so their unions are negotiating on behalf of their employees to say, hey, hold on a minute. So we're the only ones to negotiate on behalf of our employees.
We don't
And just
have
to
a
be-
union, we have our 4 board members.
Yes.
And
Is
just
what
to
I'm
be
trying to
fair,
say.
yeah, just to be in the spirit of disclosure. The trend now is to, if there isn't a, you know, a increase to offset the increase in the cost, the individual's cost to participate in the county's healthcare plan, they lock it and they cap the employee's percentage. So
You mean-
trend, so
Like the
10%.
commissioners, when they give the employees their rates, they take a higher percentage of what the county pays more than the employee pays.
Yeah, so you'll get a situation where, well, it's gonna be capped at 10%. Okay, great. But now the cost for an individual, or I'm sorry, the cost to the county has gone up because they had to do a new health, group healthcare contract. So that 10%, while it's capped in a union contract, it still means that you're gonna be, the individual's gonna be paying more because that 10% is now being taken against a larger number.
Right.
You know, so the healthcare costs, I mean, they go up and it becomes a bigger out-of-pocket expense. So with that trend, they cap it and then they'll include an additional, you know, that first, maybe in a 3-year contract, the first year, instead of being a 3.25% raise, it'll be 4.25 or 4.5 to offset that increased percent, that increased cost to the individual.
There was a
I
time
mean,
when
you know,
that employees didn't pay into the health insurance.
Sure.
The county picked it all up. So the county started doing that.
I mean, this is nirvana for me, because my husband paid for a family policy in a private company, like $1,800 a month.
And that was probably like a 60-40 split, and you still had to pay a lot of your medical bills, right?
Yeah,
So,
we paid a
'cause
lot.
health insurance is definitely the issue of our time.
Yeah.
But that's why you as a board have the ability to make it different for your staff members. And it's just a little bit, because there's only 15 people it affects.
When will we know what the COLA number's gonna be?
It's 2.8.
Oh.
Okay, any other questions? I think we have a motion on the floor, Annie.
There's a motion and a second, just no vote.
Would the director call the roll?
Vice Chair Berger,
Yes.
Chairman Beatrice,
Yes, and I want to say, as I'm voting yes, you are each individual board members. No one's going to hold anything against you if you don't agree with it. I've had taken a lot of 3-to-1 votes on this board.
Yeah, I
So
understand.
if you, Lisa, I don't want you to feel the pressure
No,
at
I
all.
feel nothing.
Okay. Well, how about if I pinch you, you'd probably feel that way.
Maybe, maybe. I'm kind of cold-hearted, though.
Attorney Robinson,
No.
Attorney Bear.
Yes.
Okay. You're not signing this because you didn't agree, and I'll just pass that to Lisa. Denise. All right, the next item. Select location for audits for the November 4th, 2025 general election. How many precincts do we have?
We're gonna pull 10, we only use 7 or 8, but we always pull extras just in case. And so usually goes 3 for Sandy, 3 for you, then 2 and 2.
All right, go ahead, Sandy. I'm only gonna take 2. I'm gonna let Lisa take 3.
Thanks.
Galilee Episcopal Church,
What a guy.
St. John's Greek Orthodox Church, and St. Michael's Byzantine Church in Camel.
All right, I have Springfield Elementary School and New Hope Church of God.
Good Hope Lutheran Church, Boardman, Springfield Fire Station number 22, St. Nicholas Church Social Hall.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Steph's not gonna like you too much.
Wow, they've probably gone already.
Bad Poland Township Government Building, Angels for Animals, Eugenia Atkinson Recreational Center.
All right. Okay, the next item is set meeting dates and times for calendar year 2026. I saw a sheet there. And it looks like there are 4 PMs. There's a couple 6 PM there that I'll have to pay attention to, because I was here at 4 PM. But can we have a motion to accept the Board of Elections regular board meeting schedule for calendar year 2026?
So moved.
There's a motion made by Sandra Barger, seconded by me. Any comments, questions, or concerns? I have one request. Please talk to Julie. Because
She's copied on every email I sent you.
because
And it says David's assistant.
because she handles my schedule. I mean, I missed,
I've been copying her for a couple of years.
yeah. I mean, I got my calendar's nuts.
Screwed up Andrew.
He's home sleeping right now. When I go home, he's gonna have to go outside. Cause he ate a big dinner. All right. Can we call the roll, please?
Wait. What are we?
The board meeting schedule. Director, call the roll.
Vice Chair Barger,
Yes.
Chairman Beatrice.
Yes.
Attorney Robinson.
Yeah.
Attorney Bear.
Yes.
I lost track of where I was at.
Okay. Scheduling a special meeting for certification of the November 4th, 2025 general election for Tuesday, November 18th at 9 and 4. I can tell you right now, I will not be here on November 18th at 9 a.m. I'll be here at 4.
Well, 9 a.m. just gets them started, so.
Yeah, as long as the 3 of you are here.
Okay. So I would make a motion that we schedule the general election for November 18th, 2025 at 9 and at 4 PM. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second. Comments, questions, or concerns? Hearing none, would the director call the roll, please?
Vice Chair Barger,
Yes.
Chairman Petras.
Yes.
Attorney Robinson.
Yes.
Attorney Barrett.
Yes.
Okay. Anything for the good of the order or public comments? Go ahead.
Andy, do you have those pictures?
I do.
Let's cheer them up after this long, challenging meeting. So Andy and I went today, oh, you could have just given,
Oh, it's okay.
pass these down.
I thought you might want to
Andy and
share.
I went to local schools today, and we met with a junior government class and talked to them all about the Board of Elections and voting, how they can register to vote. And we just thought we'd share the pictures with you because the teacher was thrilled. It was a really fun, engaging activity, and we continue to do more. We're supposed to go to Western Reserve after election. We went and met with all the superintendents of all the schools, so finally got the doors open to the schools.
Great.
We also have a brand-new 17-year-old poll worker, I know, I'm almost done, Tom, and he's gonna work with Denny Weingart, and he's gonna do 8 to 4, and he's gonna do a poll worker all day long.
Wonderful.
Yeah. That's all I
Very,
have.
We also
very
wanted to
nice.
sign this, correct? That's for the election results.
Tomorrow night.
We have to double sign it. We can sign it tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. The next regularly scheduled board meeting is set for Tuesday, December 2nd, 4 PM in the boardroom. And then we're just going to recess right now and we'll reconvene the committee of the whole for the resolution board after the polls close. Oh, no, we do the resolution board before the polls.
Before, about 6 o'clock.
6
usually.
o'clock.
We only have about 7 right now, so I
Okay.
don't expect any more.
And so, is this both of your first elections? Or is this your second? Denise, is this your first election?
No,
No,
you have one other one, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Mark Warren and Ray, remember?
Yeah. So we usually stay here until we've signed the unofficial results, which could be late. Hopefully it won't be. Okay, well, we will recess until tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
Thank you.